Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the sun in conjunct the moon in a natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects in a natal chart. The videos were a little bit concise. Some people may refer to them as snappy. So what I decided to do is make another series on the aspects in a natal chart, in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up, well, when you have the sun in conjunct the moon in a natal chart, well, there could be an imbalance between the expression of that conscious side, which is the moon, and then the unconscious, which is the moon, that side. And I mean, let's say, somebody has, the sun in Capricorn and moon in Gemini, and there's an inconjunct aspect between the two. Well, you have a very, strong disparity between the two signs. They're not opposite or square, but they still are very, vastly different. You could have, the sun in Capricorn, the basic fundamental character can be very, disciplined, structured, ambitious, career-oriented, and serious. And the moon in Gemini, the unconscious side, could be very mercurial, whimsical, and, but more about variety and, the more vivacious, animated nature. So you would have, that you could have at times the stronger expression of the sun in Capricorn, or the stronger expression of the moon in Gemini. Now, some of you may know actor, comedian Jim Carrey has his sun in Capricorn and moon in Gemini. Now, I don't know if they're inconjunct or not, the aspect, but you still can see a strong disparity. I believe that, that Mr. Bean actor also has the sun in Capricorn and moon in Gemini. And again, I don't know if his sun and moon, if they're an inconjunct aspect or not, but there's still a very strong difference and disparity between the conscious and the unconscious side. Now, also too, there may be, there either may be, too much emphasis more on the biological father, which is the sun, and not enough on the mother, which is the moon, or vice versa. There may be a lot of, there may be a lot of activities at one time with the sun to the exclusion of the mother, or at other times there may be more, your life may be more dominated by the mother to the, the exclusion of the biological father. If the sun is in Scorpio, the biological father may actually be a Scorpio sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply embody the characteristics of the sign. And, say if the moon is in Aries, it could indicate that the mother may be an Aries sun, moon, or ascendant person, or embody the traits of that, of the sign of Aries. And it could be, also too, there may either be too much of the focus on the basic ones, which is the sun, and then not enough on the emotional needs, or, the other way around. I mean, if the sun is in Aries, say, there may be too much focus on, matters just with being pioneering, being the leader, doing things, more about, the self, more, things that are just a little bit more self-centered focus, things in which ones are, more self-reliant. And, it could be, say if the moon is in Virgo, it might not be enough fulfilling the emotional needs, which would be more, service-oriented things, work, employment, being helpful to others, and, even doing things more in a subordinate role as opposed to a leadership role, or it could be the other way around. Now, another thing about the sun in conjunct the moon in a natal chart, there may either be, too much or too little of that focus of, getting, what you need, which is the moon, in your life, which is the sun. And, let's say, if the sun is in Aquarius, that could be, that might be a life which is connected with a lot of selflessness, altruism, humanitarianism, doing things that are innovative, unorthodox, things that are, more group related, more environmental things for the collective good, doing things for human rights even as some examples. And the thing about this too is, this aspect may also indicate, either too much, or, too little drive and motivation, which is the sun, to do what you feel like, which is the moon. Now, let's say if somebody has the moon in Taurus, in the natal chart, those things that, the person may often feel like doing, but, but they may often lack the drive and motivation doing so. Could be things connected with just general comfort, making money, peace, having creature comforts, doing things, could be Taurus related, something with geology or architecture, gardening, cultivation as some examples. The aspect is really often about just, a general, strong imbalance, between, the sun and the moon, whether, the sun, again, the conscious side, the moon, the unconscious side, an imbalance between, doing what you want and what you really trying to get what you want in life, but also, what you feel that you strongly need. And the thing about this too is having this aspect. This could be a person, if you have the sun in conjunct the moon in the natal chart, it's often could be making adjustments for others in your life. It could be, the people, you're close to home, with prominent women in your life, home and family members. If the moon, say, is in Pisces, it could be, people that are, have a Pisces sun, moon, or ascendant, or embody those characteristics. It could be those that are very altruistic, compassionate, sacrificing, those that may be very somewhat passive or timid, people that are, about seeing the whole picture, that don't want to be, judgmental or critical, as some examples. Now, and sometimes the adjustment, if you're trying to also make adjustment for others, then it could be to the detriment, of your own life. So it's something to just, keep in mind. Adjustment for others, that people that could be, again, moon related, whether it's, home, family members, people that are at home with you, you feel close to home, with prominent women in your life, and also too, the actions, which is connected with the sun, may at times be at the cost of one's, reactions, being able to react, to matters. And, the actions, say if the sun is in Leo, those actions may be done, with a lot of, confidence, self-assuredness. It might be in order to gain some kind of attention, accolades, notoriety, recognition, as some examples. This is where, and if you have, the moon in Pisces, the reactions may be those that are more connected, with compassion, sacrificing, altruism, as some examples, or ones in which, people may be, doing things in terms of the sacrifice, for others, with and a lot of emotion too. And the thing too is, there also can be an imbalance, between, the self-reliance, which is the sun, and also, the dependency, needing others, which is more, is connected with the moon, which is connected with the moon. So those are, if the sun is in Taurus, as an example, those self-reliant matters, may be tied in with accumulating possessions, generating income, resources, things of that nature. Things that are associated with one's values, as some examples. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.